My name is Sarah Arnold, and I am going to bring you a little music theory lesson this morning. Well, it's morning for me. Let's see here. So we're going to look at a little PowerPoint here. All right, so we're going to be talking about key signatures today. And I want you to think back to a time where you saw a performance, could be anything, choir, band, orchestra, could be a popular music kind of band, like a concert that you went to, some performance of any kind where you heard bad things, wrong notes, something like that along those lines. I'm sure that everybody has at least one time that you can think of. For some of us, it might even be one that we were a part of. I know that I can think of somewhere. Especially early on in my musical career. So, why do we even need key signatures? They are basically a set of instructions or guidelines for what buttons or keys to hit or push down when we play a given passage or piece of music, right? So we need those because it gives us the structure and information we need to play things correctly. So let's talk about the order of sharps and flats. So for flats, it's B-E-A-D-G-C-F, which I think about bead, greatest common factor, which is that GCF. That's just a way that I like to remember it. You can remember it whatever way that you would like to. And then we have a specific contour that we always follow when we write key signatures. So as you can see here, we start on B flat because that's the first flat. We follow that order, and it naturally kind of does this up and down motion. Then if we look over here at sharps, F, C, G, D, A, E, B is the order of sharps, which is basically the order of flats but backwards. And I have a little acronym right here that can help you remember that. Fat cats get down and eat breakfast. And most of you probably don't know me, but I have two cats, and one of them is pretty fat. And in the morning, she always has to eat a treat. So I guess you could call that her getting down and eating breakfast. So every time you think about sharps, that's what you can think of. And same kind of similar contour right here. Just notice that that G sharp is going to be on that top space and not on that second line, which it would make sense, right, if we had it all in the staff, but it actually does go up there. And then here's some examples of that contour, but on bass clef for my bass clef friends out there. Here we go. Same type of deal, it's just displaced a little bit because it's in a different clef. And then again, that F flat, we actually aren't going to put it up here. We're going to keep it down there on that bottom space. So here's the process for actually identifying the key signatures for flats and sharps respectively. So for flats, we go to the next to the last flat, and that is going to be our key. So for example, right here, we've got the key of C flat. We already know that, but pretend like we don't for a second. Our last flat is F flat. So we go to the next to the last, it's on C flat. We know that's the key. So then by that, we know that the key of C flat major has B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and F flat. It has all the flats in that key. Not a very fun key to play in. So then for sharps, we're going to go up a half step from the last sharp in the key. So let's briefly talk about what a half step is actually going to look like. I've got a piano right here, so you can visually see where those half steps are going to occur. Most of the time, it's going to be between a white key and a black key. So, for example, F to F sharp or G flat is a half step. There's two examples where there's an exception to that. So, between B and C, as you can see right here, it's a half step, and between E and F is a half step as well. So let's look at this key signature right here. We've got F sharp major. We're going to go to the last sharp, excuse me. And our last sharp is actually E sharp. So, like we just said, between E and F is a half step. So E sharp, a sharp raises any pitch a half step. That's going to be the same sounding note or pitch as F. But we are calling it E sharp. So a half step up from E sharp is actually going to be F sharp, which is how we get F sharp major and not F major. So that's very important. So let's look at a couple of examples. First, we've got one that's got 4 flats. So let's take a look. We've got the last flat is D flat, second to the last or next to the last, however you want to think about it. We've got what? A flat. So that means it's A flat major. Okay, so let's look at a sharp one then. We go to the last flat, which there's only one. The last sharp, excuse me, which is only one. It's F sharp. We go up a half step from that and we get G. So that means we're in the key of G major. Now I want you to pause me for a second and complete the identify portion of the worksheet. It should be the first 5 questions. And for 4 of those, you're just going to write the name of the key signature. And one of them you're going to actually write your own. So use that contour that we've talked about. Make sure that you put that contour in there. And not only are you getting the right order of flats, but you want to make sure you place those in the right spots. Okay, so next, why is it important that we know key signatures? Because you need to be able, as a functioning musician, you have got to be able to not only play notes, but read the information in front of you and, synthesize that information and then use it. So that means that you're going to be marketable, you're going to be able to sight read, right? If you can always identify a key and you know what notes are in that key signature, that means that you're going to be able to sight read anything that anybody puts in front of you, right? Now, think again about that bad performance we talked about at the beginning. And I want you to write your thoughts. It's going to be that second portion on your worksheet, so go ahead and pause and fill that out for me. Next, we're going to look at these 2 videos, and they are of me and a friend of mine, and it's the Andante and Rondo by Doppler for 2 flutes. So here we go. Okay, go ahead and fill in your response for video A. Alrighty. Hold on one second. One second. We're having technical difficulties. Alright. Now video B. Okay, and go ahead and fill in your response for that one as well. Again, you are critiquing based on are we playing in the key signature? Are we playing right notes? That is kind of the background for your judgments and critiques. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. I really appreciate your time. And as always, play the key signature. Thank you very much.